All right, guys, got the KelTec CP-33 out for range video. Let's have a little bit of fun. All right. Third time's a charm, boy. All right, let's have some fun. I'm gonna discuss that in a minute. All right, here we go. Get over. Oh yeah. Guys, welcome back. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. And you guessed it, we're talking a little bit about the CP-33. These things are really neat. This is a new offering from KelTec. It's a semi-auto 22 caliber pistol. Uses a really interesting quadruple stack mag, essentially. It's a double stack mag. So you have two double stack columns, really interesting. I guess the same type of idea that you would expect in terms of a triple stack because of the way that they come up to the top. Really cool magazine design, holds 33 rounds of 22 long rifle. You notice there in the intro when I was going to chamber the first round out of the magazine, it was a little bit sluggish and skittish there, getting that first round in the magazine. That's something that we've seen across the board on a lot of different folks. I know 22 Plinkster was telling me he was having a very similar issue with his. Just picking up that first round out of the mag, it can be, you know, a little bit sluggish because once you get that, you know, number 33 in there in terms of the rounds, you know, it will, it's really hard to push that first one off. But other than that, once that first round's in the tube out of the mag, you're good to go. The magazines on these can be a little bit difficult to load, but we'll go over that process. I feel like I really want to show you how these mags load because they are kind of a unique magazine. I got this particular example through Big Daddy Unlimited. These things have been kind of difficult to find, so I was able to score one through them, which is really cool. We're running a OSS Rad 22 suppressor. These suppressors do really well on semi-automatics because they really mitigate any back pressure, and it's a great setup. Now there's a lot of accessories out for this thing. I figured it'd be fun to just do a video on it, bare bones. Obviously we've added a suppressor, but other than that, I thought it'd be cool to see what this thing can do with just regular old iron sights, but they do make braces for them. There's a couple of companies now that are doing like trigger bows, safeties, that kind of stuff. So there are some accessories out there for them. I know one company's making this like really gnarly base plate for these things, for the mags, but it comes with two magazines. It's threaded 1/2x28 on the muzzle. You do have a small section of M-lock right here on the bottom. You can run an M-lock rail section on the bottom if you want. The top has a lot of pick rail, real estate. The sights are fiber optics, Williams. Very, very nice sights. CP-33 stands for competition pistol. 33 is the amount of rounds it holds. Right now over there, Chad is loading another magazine. Now you notice there's some similarities with this particular gun to the H&K MP7. It looks a lot like an MP7. Not only the grip angle, but where it's located, it has almost a bullpup-like look to it. And the charging handle is exactly like an MP7. So one of the biggest complaints that folks have had with H&K is that, man, you know, we want an MP7 and they won't make a civilian version of the MP7 for civilian sales. So I think KelTec is smart to go this route. The way this lower frame attaches to the upper, I believe the upper is just keyed in here, and then there's a single takedown pin, and then the frame itself looks like it separates about right here. I haven't pulled this thing apart yet, but the way they designed it with the serialized portion being on the lower is I could see in the future if they end up doing a carbine version of this, it'd be a really simple SBR if you wanted to go that route and put like their full length lower on the bottom in the future, or if you want to run the brace, there's a lot of flexibility there. Now obviously there's plenty of pick rail space. It is alloy upper. Although it is alloy, it's not heavy. It's got a nice balance to it. You know, when you're pointing it, it looks ungainly. You know what I mean? It looks like it would be muzzle heavy, but it actually points quite naturally because the balance is thrown back a bit because a lot of the operating axis is kind of thrown in the rear. It doesn't add to the length, and it helps with that muzzle heaviness by having a little bit of weight in the back too. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate this mag again. We're gonna put it in. Now what we're running right here, this is a CCI clean subs. The manual suggests that you run high velocity ammo. The gun is designed for high velocity ammo. Earlier, Chad and I were loading some CCI mini mags into the magazines, and we noticed that the overall length on the mini mags, I don't know if maybe it was a little bit long or what, but we kept getting a bit of rim lock out of the pistol. I'll discuss that a little bit more when we get into loading the mags, but let me shoot it a little bit more. And this is a brand new gun. We've only shot like maybe 3 or 4 mags out of this before we got the cameras rolling. So let's see if that first round doesn't want to pick up as readily. All right, this is a full magazine. I'm gonna charge it. See, it'll catch a little bit on that first round, but if you just cheat the bolt back a little bit, it'll chamber. So I think that's just, you know, the fact that it's the first round off the mag. All right, let's see if it'll run good. Have a little fun here. Now, one thing I can say, the trigger on this thing is outstanding. I'm very happy with that accuracy. Really good accuracy. The trigger on this thing breaks about 2.5 pounds. So it's got a nice clean break. The take up is very smooth and discernible. The break is crisp and clean, nice and light. So it's got an excellent trigger in it. I know a lot of people, when they think KelTec, they tend to think, oh, you know, what do they call those? P3AT, you know, the little 380 pistols, or you're thinking a little 32, P32s they make, or like the P11s that have that long double action kind of staple gun-like trigger. Not like that. Get that out of your mind. On this particular gun, they really did a great job with the trigger. All right, Mr. Gopher. Okay, last round bolt hold open. Ran the whole magazine, no problem. All right, another thing to consider, the magazines don't really readily just drop free. Both the model that I've seen and held in person, both of them exhibited the magazines being a little bit stiff to go into the gun. You have a heel magazine release, okay? But you have to kind of grab the mag out. I guess that's nice to know that you can't bump that heel mag release and the mags wind up falling out of the gun. The grip is a little big for some people. I would imagine folks with small hands might not like. The grip is relatively large. I would put it definitely right in the same territory as a PMR 30. And the trigger on this gun is very similar to the PMR 30. It's nice and crisp. Really, all in all, that's the gun in a nutshell. You have polymer construction through and throughout, alloy. So, you know, good materials. Nice lightweight frame. The texturing on the grip is not overly overbearing or weird or anything. It's just got the right amount of texture on there. And you got the full pick rail to run all your accessories if you want. But we wanted this to be kind of an out-of-the-box video because we want to see how the gun will do. Now, with the magazines, Chad's over here loading the magazine right now. They can be a little bit tricky. Now, what he's got here is some CCI semi-auto quiets. I'm going to shoot a few of these in the dirt and let you hear how quiet they are. And this magazine is just such a cool design. It's just not something you see every day. That's really neat. You know, and I'll say something here while Chad's loading. I do want to show the loading process on the mag because there's some things you need to know. You got to watch out for the rim lock on the magazines. I'll have Chad demonstrate that here in a moment, or I will. There's kind of a trick to loading these mags, and KelTec also says that as you load these mags a few times and that spring gets a little bit more broken in, that they're a lot easier to load. And Chad's nodding his head. I'm assuming that they're a lot easier to load after we've shot them a few times. I do want to mention something that, you know, because we do get access to a lot of guns, you know, pretty often, right? And especially new guns that come out, we tend to get them pretty quickly, and we always have an idea that we're able to get on stuff pretty easily, and we get to check out the new stuff pretty regular. Well, as a result, you know, sometimes you get a little jaded, right? You know, when you get to mess around with new stuff all the time, you kind of think, okay, well, what really blows my skirt up, right? Okay, is it just, all right, some other AR came out or some other product? What drew me to this pistol and what made me like it so much was that it truly was just a unique and new design. And that's one thing you have to hand to KelTec, that they get you excited about guns again. Like, and I don't mean that to be cheesy, but that's the thing. Like, once you've seen everything and you have every type of gun there is and you've been exposed to so much stuff over the years, it kind of takes something special to blow your skirt up. You know what I mean? And this gun for me, when I saw it, I was like, yes, such a clever design. All right. And I would imagine as this thing gets broken in, maybe that first round will pick up a little bit better. Let's run the CCI semi-auto quiets. Yeah, it's just having a little bit of difficulty picking up off the top round, but once it's in there, works just fine. Okay. CCI quiets. I'm going to shoot a few down in the dirt. Yep. May not feed the CCI semi-auto quiets, but we're going to give it a try. Nice and quiet though. That is very quiet. Let's take some long range shots. Okay.
Killer.
It ran those. Man, I'm telling you right now, this joker needs a brace. So maybe that's something we'll do in a future video. We'll add like a little red dot and a brace and maybe trick this thing out a little bit. Now, I don't have them here to show you, so I hate to even mention this, but they also, early on, were making a 50 round magazine for this particular gun. But from what I understand, they pulled them because they couldn't really get them to run like 110% reliably. So that's one thing to consider. They do have 50 round mags for this gun. They're not really out in the wild. You know, I got this gun through Big Daddy, so I had to deal with whatever they had in stock. The magazines are available. They're a little pricey. I think the price I've seen on these things is about 50 bucks for these mags, but I know it's a supply and demand thing. Anytime KelTec comes out with a new gun, there's always going to be some difficulty locating parts and accessories for the gun. So this is no different. I think it's a really neat gun. It's a plinker. It's a nice fun toy. I definitely wouldn't consider like personal defense or anything like that or life and liberty, but man, for like dealing with those pesky squirrels or dealing with, you know, some pop cans or taking the kids, this is the perfect gun to let Junior shoot, especially with, man, with a brace on this joker and a little red dot and a suppressor. I can't think of a kid alive that wouldn't love to take an entire afternoon shooting this gun and have a ton of fun. But dad or grandpa might need to be around to load the mags for him though. That's the only thing. A kid ain't gonna load these mags very easy. But all right, now we're on this is the CCI 22 long rifle suppressor ammo. All right, so that's 40 grains, moving at 970. Let's try these out. This is a cool gun. I like it. I mean, it's got a few shortcomings, but to be fair, it's a very new gun for KelTec. They haven't been out that long. So I'm gonna chalk it up to being a generational thing, which typically some KelTec guns are just like that. And the thing is, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Some people say, oh, well, the first KSGs that came out were turds and they didn't run very good. My KSG is a really, really early KSG that I bought used. Never had a single problem out of it. Never had a single malfunction. Not one single issue out of that gun the entire time I've had it. Now I keep it clean and I take care of it, but the gun works, okay? Now, did I get lucky? Did I get a good one? Don't know. You know, it's just like the early PMR 30s. A lot of people are complaining about the early PMR 30s. What do? They had an issue with the barrels. They fixed the barrels, recalled the barrels, switched up the barrel they used, and now they run fantastic. So that's the only thing about KelTec. They are real innovators. I can't talk today. I got a little bit of Medea in me. All right, girl, you got to innovate. Y'all got to innovate there. Anyway, if you don't know who Medea is, look her up. Tyler Perry. You'll get a good laugh out of that. Anyway, but they truly innovate, right? They're always coming up with new designs. And when you come up with a completely new gun that nobody's ever made before, you're going to see some growing pains. And that's to be expected, but So cool. They did a fantastic job with this gun. I really, really love it. I can't wait to let Brandy shoot this. She's gonna love it. All right, let's see if we get that first round to choke. Ooh, that chambered. All right, well, moving on up. All right, I'm just giving you all a hard time. Okay, having some fun here. Very cool, man. Last round bolt hold open, worked. Magazine's empty. Very cool. That's our 22 suppressor ammo from CCI. We're just running what we got, guys.
Who says it'll only run high velocity ammo?
It'll run everything. Oh, and we did shoot some sniper subsonics through earlier, which appeared to work. We got some Aguila 60 grain sniper subs. Want to try a few of those?
I love some.
All right, so Chad's gonna load those. All right, now we're gonna move on to Federal Auto Match. This is a good tried and true standby for us, is the Auto Match. We're gonna run a little bit of that here in the CP-33. You know, man, reliability wise, she's working. Haven't really had a major stoppage. Obviously the mags have to be loaded correctly. All right, let's see fill chamber. Yeah, gotta play around with that first round, but that's about the only shortcoming I can see of the gun. All right, this is Auto Match. This is a good standby for us. I hope it runs us well because we got a lot of it. That's so cool, man. It's a redneck MP7. I love it. I love it. You know, we're big fans of the HK MP7, and this is very, very similar. And this is a way that you can kind of scratch that itch. I'm not saying it's an exact copy or anything. It's definitely not. But man, if it doesn't kind of scratch that proverbial itch, okay? So Chad is over here struggle busting with these magazines. When you load the mags, I can actually demonstrate this real quick while he's finishing up loading. I'll just take a couple of rounds of this Auto Match. All right, so the magazines, you have to be concerned about rim lock, okay? So there's a very specific method for loading these mags, and what I feel works the best is basically you want to put the top of the rim in the mag like this. So it loads side by side in terms of kind of like a pistol mag, but you don't push them straight in the top. You have to fit them into like a little window, intermediate window, and then you push them back. So you start them in, push them back, but don't just push it back with your finger. I find what works the best is to take the rim of the next round or the head of the next round and just give it a gentle push, just like this, and make sure it's seated fully to the rear. All right, then you go ahead and top the next round off, push it in with your finger. Before you insert the next round, push the nose of the round gently, not too hard, just hard enough to seat it, and then you continue the process until the magazine is loaded. And so far, that's been the method that we've employed for loading our magazines here, and we haven't had really a single issue. All right, there was even a couple of mags that we could look down the axis of the rear of the mag and we could see that there was a bit of rim lock present, but the magazine still ran. So I don't know if maybe the vibrations of the gun or as it moves, they kind of find their way. But you just want to be mindful of any you know, apparent rim lock that could be there. So see, we push them in, finish it up, push it in, take the next round, finish it up. And you do that until the magazine is full, okay? And it holds 33 rounds. The mags are a little bit of a bear to load, but other than that, other than the magazines being hard to load, they are fantastic guns and the accuracy is very acceptable. I'm very happy with how this thing suppresses. It's got good balance. The trigger is fantastic. The modularity that they've built into this thing is fantastic. I feel like for the money, they've definitely hit a home run with this particular gun. Obviously, just like any new KelTec product, there's gonna be some, you know, growing pains and everything like that. But man, what a fantastic pistol. And I can't wait to see, you know, it seems like these guns also spawn a literal cottage industry of accessories, right? Anytime a KelTec comes out, you give it a year or two, what happens? Tons of accessories, especially their little carbines and pistols and things like that. I can't tell you how many, you know, companies have probably literally been started just because of the KelTec Sub 2000, right? And the KelTec Sub 2000 went through some growing pains, but, you know, really for the most part, from day one, even from the days of the Sub 9, it's been a great system, you know, a nice, economical, but effective setup that they've stood the test of time. They've held up quite good. How's it going, Chad?
Sketchy.
Are we getting a bit of rim lock? That's okay. We'll try it. Now, these Sniper Subsonics, they might be a little bit on the long side. That's a 60 grain bullet. We haven't really tried these in any type of quantity, but let's give them a shot and see if they work. And guys, we're trying to show the gun with a variety of different ammunition to show you that it generally, knock on wood, has been eating just about whatever we can put in it. All right, let's see. Yeah, Chad, it's not wanting to pick up that first round out of there.
Yeah, those were a little hairy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that mag?
Hang on, let me see if I can just get it cheated up. Yeah, it's nose down.
Okay. Right
there. See if you can get that to nose up. Guys, that's why we test this stuff, because, you know, we want y'all to kind of learn along with us on this sort of thing. To be fair, one of the things about the 60 grain Sniper Subsonics, they are a relatively picky round that they don't always run in every single platform 110% reliably. I mean, we've seen that in a variety of other guns that we've tested, so.
Not really made for semi-autos.
No, it's not, but we like trying them because it's a hard hitter and they fly nice and slow and they're real quiet. All right, let's see if it'll chamber. All right, 60 grain Sniper Subs. This is gonna be fun. A few down in the dirt. Woo. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. Huh, interesting. All right, let's try again. Okay. Sniper Subs. Yep, not liking those. All right, so something about the Sniper Subs you need to know as well is that, oh, we got one in the chamber here. So the Sniper Subs actually eject a 22 short case. So that's what a lot of people don't know. You have a long projectile and a little bitty short case. Look at little case, okay? And if I look at this case, I'm getting a little bit of bulging in the rear of the chamber. So it doesn't look like it's a completely supported chamber in the rear, which is not a problem, but just know that this is kind of the extreme top end of the spectrum, right? When you're running 60 grain Subsonics. I mean, this is a heavy load for a 22, so we're really testing the crap out of this thing here today, guys. All right, let's see if we can make it through the rest of the mag. I think you guys get the idea. I cannot wait to revisit this video with a brace and a red dot, and man, so much fun. Yeah, that mag is not cooperating with these rounds. Yeah, we're gonna stop this experiment. It's just not working. So guys, safe to say that the 60 grain subs are not gonna be the ticket for this thing, okay? But we thought we would try it, and we did have a case stuck in there bad. And guys, I don't want y'all to get the wrong idea about what we're doing in this video in terms of testing these, okay? Because we're just trying to try different ammo, and not every ammo is gonna be 110% successful. So Sniper Sub's probably a no-go in the CP-33. I got these couple of rounds of auto match left. I'll just chew these up just to make sure we haven't like screwed our gun up or anything. Okay, and the round picked up, although off a reduced amount there. Let's give it a try. Yep, feed it the right ammo, she works just fine. Guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. This has been the CP-33 from Big Daddy. Great pistol. Really enjoying it. I think KelTec is just doing a wonderful job with their guns, and this is definitely no exception. So definitely want to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters for supporting our channel. Thank you so much for seeing value in what we do. Those of you who purchase Man Cans, which is a monthly mystery box that we sell, thank you so much for supporting our channel. Those of you who purchase t-shirts like the one I'm wearing over on Ballistic Ink, all those funds go right back into supporting what we do, supporting this type of content as we go. So thank you for seeing value in what we do. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. We're going to revisit this one. I think you guys are going to have fun with that video. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.